What e-commerce taught me was a few foundational skills. One is that marketing and distribution are more important than the product. If you have a great product, but nobody sees it, you're fucked. So one of the essential skills that I learned is I need to learn how to garner, manage, and distribute my product. Number two, sales. So if you want to make money, you have to sell. Marketing, distribution, and sales are the two kind of beacons and pillars that I've established as essential necessities for winning in business.
So this is what we are going to be working on. I'm going to show you how to animate this text and animate this scene, and we are going to do the first part of this video. Maybe in a future video I can then break down the second part, but let's just start. Now you're going to create a new timeline. As you can see, I've created a new timeline. All of these are just that there's no animation. Everything is still at 0. By the way, if you're wondering why my timeline settings are, I'm using a 1080 by 1920 vertical resolution, because Instagram Reels you have to use vertical, and it's 24 frames per second. So the first thing you're going to do is get an adjustment clip and bring it to your timeline, and make sure the adjustment clip start from frame 0 up till about frame 7. You can see from here. Now what we're going to do in this adjustment clip is at the 0 we're going to keyframe the zoom in, and we're going to go to maybe frame 6 and keyframe the zoom in. Go back to the first one. I'm just going to zoom this guy a little bit in, like so. Maybe that's too much, somewhere around there. Good. I'm going to go there, and you can click from here, come to this point, click here and ease in. Go to the last one, make sure you right click again, ease in. So if you play that now, good, you have that. And if you go to the keyframes for you to confirm that they have been eased in, you see these are your keyframes here. So let's go back here. Now if I play that, you see it has a sharp zoom in, and that's that. But if you, let me just do something like this. If I go to my media pool and bring this one here so that we can see what, let's bring it here. I'm going to mute all of these sounds. Yes, let me just bring it here. Okay, good. If I bring it here so that we can see what is happening, we're just going to look at this for our reference. So at the start there, you see that there's an overlay. You have the overlay here. I'm just going to bring this overlay here, and I'm going to make sure this thing is about, just make sure that at the end somewhere around 6 frames. Good. And if you look at it now, you're going to see that it's horizontal and we have to make it vertical. So you just come to this where it said angle, and you change the angle by 90. You're going to see that it's black, so you're going to come down here and change the apply mode to screen, and you get that. So if you play that down, good. So that's it, and I can bring it down here. Now the next thing we have is this text animation. I'm going to use 3 texts here. So the first text, we're going to write what, make sure the W is capital. I'm going to change the font to Helvetica. I'm going to use the bold version. I'm going to use a size of 0.1. Go to layout, I'm going to change the X to 0.26, and I'm going to change the Y to 0.287. Good. So it appears here. I think you can see that it appears this way. Yeah, it appears here. If you want to zoom in or zoom out, you can use your mouse, scroll and zoom in and zoom out. Now if we go back to, we try to go here, you're going to see that it's, the text comes in like this from the right. So we're going to go back to this text, go back here, and we're going to open this one in the Fusion page. In the Fusion page we have this template and this media out. So you're going to right click in this box, hit follower, go to the modifier, and you're going to go to the transform. You're going to open up this size at maybe frame 15. You're going to keyframe this one, and keyframe the offset X and Y. Just double click this one and come back to frame 0. You're going to keyframe this one and this one again. You're going to take this one to this side somewhere around here, and you're going to take this one down to 0. So if you play that now, it comes in all at once. Let's go to spline, to zoom to fit, select all S. Now we're going to close that up, and we can just increase the, let's come to somewhere around frame 8 and see what we have done there. Good. I think that that's good for that animation. Yes. Now we go back to the edit page. In the edit page, I'm going to hold down Alt and duplicate this one. In this one, I'm going to write, it says what e-commerce taught me. So I'm going to just leave the same font. I'm going to change it from bold to bold oblique. I'm going to change the size to 1.44. Go to the layout and change the layout from this one to 0.486. Change the Y to 0.227. Good. If you play it now, it comes like this. Now we have have to go to this text. We have to change the color. We are going to use, so you can copy this color code. We are going to use this color code throughout the entire animation so that it looks the same. Yes. Good. Now the next text we are going to do is taught me. So I'm going to hold down or duplicate the first one and I'm going to write taught me. O start with capital T. Yes, the size remains at 1. The color remains 1. You're going to go to the layout and you're going to change the X value to 0.65. You're going to change the Y value to 0.165. So it goes below all of that. Yes, I think you can see it here now. So, and we're going to bring in this text at somewhere around here. So we're going to make the text start from here and make sure all of them have the same length. So if I zoom that back, good. So you see that what e-commerce taught me. Yes. So let's look at our reference. If you look from here, okay, all of the text goes back down. So we're going to come here. You can come to something about like 111. So in order to control, you see that all the text goes down, but if I have to start keyframing from 111, it would take a lot of time. So what I'm going to do is select all of these, make sure they have a red outline around them, right click and create a new compound clip. For me, I've made a shortcut which is tab. So can just name that text, enter, and if you see all of it becomes 1, but they're going to maintain their position and their animation. So we can come to somewhere around here, and we are going to keyframe the position and go to somewhere around 18 and keyframe the position at 18. I'm just going to take that down and make sure everything is out of the screen. Now to go to your keyframes tab, I'm going to highlight all of these, make sure I ease in and ease out. Then I'm going to make this thing, I'm going to try to make this one a little bit slow at the end. Good. So if you play that now, yes, we got that one. So I'm just going to bring that down, bring this text down here. Now in this text, we have to write was a few foundational skills. Use the same font, which is Helvetica. Throughout this animation, I'm just going to use Helvetica. And shout out to Tarik. I hope I'm pronouncing the name well, who made this amazing video in After Effects. I saw it, I liked it, and I said, let me do it. So we're just going to change the size again to 0.1177, and yes, it's going to appear like this. And make sure I change it to bold. Okay, good. We're going to add glow to all of these so that it looks good like his date. I'm going to change the X to 0.34, 0.343, and the Y to 0.266. So it goes down there. Yes, around here. So now I can then open this one in the Fusion page. I'm just going to click here, go to this text, hit modifier. A modifier will be open. So I'm going to open the modifier. I can go to shading. I'm going to keyframe the opacity at frame 15, go back to frame 0, and I'm going to take it down to 0. Now we have to adjust. I already did this, so I'm just going to give you my values. You can just change the delay to 0.8 and yeah, 0.8, and I'm just going to select all of that, hit S, and that will be it. Now if I go back to the edit page, see that one is coming in. So we have that. Now if was a few foundational skills, so I'm going to duplicate this, hold down Alt, take it above like so. Now in this one, I'm going to write foundational. I'm just going to change the font from bold to oblique, and you're going to set in the same to have the same color code. We're going to change the size to 0.13, and then come to layout. We're going to change the Y to 0.519. For the Y, we are going to change it to 2.17, so it appears here. Good. This is it. Make sure you take your playhead to somewhere around 1.22. So if you move it there and then make sure it aligns like so. So this one comes in like so, yeah. And I'm going to do the same thing, hold down or duplicate this and take this up here. Now in this one, I'm just going to write skills, and let's come to this one, and in the layout, the X layout to 768 and the Y to 0.16. So it falls down here. Good. Now if we play that, make sure the skill text come in around 04, just where we have it. Now if I close this now, let me play that for you. What e-commerce. Good. So let me just zoom that back in. Good. At the end of the tutorial, we are going to add glow to all of these. Next thing, let's animate the first part of this one. Okay, this is what we have to do in this other part here. Now you're going to get a fusion composition. Go to effects, get a fusion composition, drag and drop a fusion composition here. Make sure it starts from this point here. That's 3 seconds, 1 and 0.1 millisecond. And make sure the length is like so. So I'm just going to delete this one I added, and I'm going to open this one in the fusion page. In the fusion page, we have this. I'm going to get a background node to the media out. In the background node, I'm going to change it from solid color to gradient and from linear to radial. Now I can bring this one in here. I'm going to change the inner one into a very dark blue color, something like this one. Yes, and this one I'm going to change it into something around here. This is that. Yeah, I think something like this looks good. Yeah, I recorded a video of Luke Berman's Instagram page, and I've already cut the part that we need. This is it. So if I play that now, you're going to see it scrolling up. Yes, it's basically just a screen recording of one of his Instagram page. Like so I'm just going to name that to screen. Let's just keep this one aside. Let's start from the marketing distribution, which is somewhere above there. I'm going to get a background node, get a text node, connect this text node to this one here, and in this text node I'm going to write marketing. I'm going to change the font to this Monganite. Let's make sure we are looking at it there. Yes, I'm going to change it, and we are going to use the same color as we have been using before. I'm going to change the size of this text to 5.28. Yes, I'm just going to hit Ctrl G here to see where I'm going, and I'm just going to take it up to the Y value should be 753 and the X value should be 0.489. Yes, somewhere around here. Good. I'm just going to shift this, and above this one I'm going to get a background node, get a rectangle mask, and we're going to connect the rectangle, make the background color white. We're going to connect this one here and bring it. Now in the rectangle, I'm just going to size this rectangle to something like so. Just going to bring it to somewhere around here, so that it starts from, goes like so, and I'm just going to bring the height up. You can just make sure it starts from the edge of this one here, so we have to take it to the side like so. Good. And I'm going to get another text node, connect this text node here. I'm going to write distribution. Make sure I'm viewing that. I'm going to change the color to black, and I'm going to change the font to Martin, and I can take that up here, take it to the side like so. Change the size to 0.076. if you want it to cover the box there. Yes, you can increase the tracking. Yeah, so it covers the box. Now we are just, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in this text, and we're going to hit follower, go to the modifier, you're going to go to shading, go to frame 55, you're going to keyframe the opacity, take it down to 0, and you can go to frame 65, keyframe the opacity again, or you just take the opacity up all the way up to 1. Now you can go to the delay, you can use a delay of 0.64. yes. Now just go to spline, zoom to fit S. Now for this one, for this marketing text, we're going to do the same thing. Hit follower, come to this one, you're going to go to somewhere around here at frame 37. You're going to keyframe the opacity, and go to frame 40, keyframe the opacity again, go down to frame 37, take it all the way down to 0. Now we can go to timing. Make sure you always smoothen this one out. S, go to the delay, and we're going to use a delay of 2.27. and if I play that now, yeah, you see something like that. Yes, what is left is this rectangle, so I'm going to take this one up here. I'm going to get another rectangle here, and I'm just going to size that, take it up and take it to the side like so, and make sure it covers this wide rectangle. I'm going to connect it to the mask section of this rectangle, so that if I take it out like so, you see that the white rectangle disappear. Go to frame 53. We're going to keyframe the center X and Y, and go to frame 61, keyframe it again so that it's visible at this frame. Now go back to the first one, which is frame 53, and take it out. Good. Go to spline, zoom to fit, and S. Yeah, S is better, but we can still make it like that's all about this one. So we can then bring this to the side, and connect this one here. Now we are going to bring in this screenshot into the screen. To the screenshot, I'm going to add an image plane, add a camera, and a renderer 3D. Add that there, and I'm going to connect this one here. Let's make sure we're viewing this here. Now, if you look at it here, you won't see anything. Just go to the camera and make sure you change the camera value to 1.65. Now, we're going to go back to the image plane and take it back somewhere around, well, I think that these values are okay. You can just copy these values at this frame. Let's go to frame 40. So these are the values of frame 40. We're just going to keyframe this and keyframe all of this. Now let's go back to frame 0. At frame 0, I'm just going to try to something like this, and we are going to take the Y value down completely out of the screen like so. You can go to your renderer and use hardware renderer. If we try to play that now, you see we have something. All we're going to do is select this image plane, go to spline, zoom to fit, S, and hit T to bring out your ease in and ease out. Hit this lock to lock them in, and you're just going to increase this to somewhere around 40. Now we want this thing to follow the theme of everything, so I'm going to move this one somewhere above here. I'm going to search for a color corrector CC. In the color corrector, I'm just going to move it towards this here. You see what it does to this one. But make sure that you check this box, pre-divide, post multiply, so that it does not affect the entire composition. We're going to add glow to all of these at the end of the tutorial. So this is what we have got so far.
What e-commerce taught me was a few foundational skills. One is that marketing and distribution are more important than the product. If you have a great product, but nobody's
good. So where he starts saying, if you have a great product, somewhere around here, let me just put a marker here. I'm just going to, okay, this, I've put a marker here. So I'm just going to cut this one here, and then I'm going to get one of these decks. So from here, from this point here up to this point is a different camera. This is a different camera. So what I'm going to do is go to effect, get an adjustment clip. From here, I'm going to cut the adjustment clip here, select this one, and make sure I bring this one down here so that it comes up to the point where the camera angle changes. In this adjustment clip, I'm going to go to the last frame of this adjustment clip, which is this one, or you can just extend it to somewhere around here. Good. And I'm going to keyframe the zoom here so that we come back to the first one, which is here, and keyframe it again. But let me just remove this marker so you see what I'm doing, so that here we can just take it up, so that when the
you have a great product but nobody sees it, you're fucked. Good. You have a great product but nobody sees it.
I think that is too much. We have to bring it down. No. We have to end it here. We have to end it before the camera angle changes. Good. Here. We can just zoom this to about 150, somewhere around there. If I try to play,
you have a great product but nobody sees it, you're
good. Yeah, so use keyframe it here, the first frame, and make sure you always look at here is 7 seconds 3 milliseconds, and you go up to this point where it's 9 seconds 06 milliseconds, and you keyframe it and change the zoom. Now you can go to your keyframe and select all of these. You can use ease in and ease out. You can make it start slow, however you want.
You have a great product, but nobody sees it, you're fucked.
Good. If you look at this one, you're going to see the same thing. Good. It zooms in like so. And if you look at here, good, we have the same thing. So let's go back here. Now I'm just going to do one of these texts and you're going to complete the rest. So because if you look at here, this text appears word by word. Let me just come here. He says if you have a great product and nobody sees it, you're fucked. So I'm just going to get a text note here. So what it says is if you have, and I'm going to change the font as we have been using throughout this text to Helvetica bold. I'm going to change the color to our famous color. So I'm just going to change the size to 0.11171. Now you can go to the layout and you change the center X to 0.14 and you change the Y to 0.35. I'm just going to shift this to the side so you can use a value of 0.4. Now I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm just going to hold down Alt, duplicate this and take it above, and here I'm going to write great product. You can change the font to bold oblique, and let's just take it down. Let's take it down and take it to the side. So we're going to take this text into the Fusion page. In the Fusion page, I'm going to right click here and do character level styling. Go to the modifier. I'm going to select only the grid. To highlight that, I'm going to change the font of the grid to maybe something like Ananda. We can then bump up the size just a little bit. Yes. And if you come back here, this is it. We have something like this. So now you are going to realize that from here, let me show you. You're going to realize that from here, the text, they appear word by word. I'm going to come to this first one and select the text. You're going to come to write on. Good. You're going to go to somewhere around 05. Yes. You're going to take it down to only where it is written. If you're going to keyframe that and go to 06 and you're going to increase it to if you, where the word goes says you, go 2 frames forward, that's 08, keyframe again, go 1, that's 09, and half. Now go 2 frames, 11, keyframe, 1 frame, take it all the way up to, now go 2 frames, come to this text where it says great product at 14. We're going to make sure that great comes in at 14. Now great comes in, then go 1, 2 at 15. Make sure that you keyframe it or you bring it down, then go 1, 2, take it all the way up. Let's play that. Good. Yes. So you're going to just complete, but nobody sees it, you're fucked. Now from here, we're going to do that in the next section of this tutorial. But before that, we're just going to add glow to all of these so that we make it look good. In order to add glow, I'm just going to select all of these, hit tab to create a compound clip, and I'm going to open this in the Fusion page. In the Fusion page, I have all of these. So I have this one. Yeah, it appears well. I'm going to go to effects. I can just search for soft glue. Good. Let's add that there, and I'm just going to think that this one is better. So I'm just going to Control C this glue. Make sure I go back to the edit page. Yes. If you go back to the edit page here, I'm going to create a compound clip to open it in the Fusion page. Here, just Control V, and that will be good. Now come back to this one. I'm going to open all of these in the Fusion page, and here I'm going to add the same thing, Control V. So yeah, yes, you can customize this however you want, but I think that this one works so well. Yeah. So now if I try to play it, let's.
What e-commerce taught me was a few foundational skills. One is that marketing and distribution are more important than the product. If you have a great product, but nobody sees it, you're free.
Let me play it from this side so I can see where.
What e-commerce taught me was a few foundational skills. One is that marketing and distribution are more important than the product. If you have a great product, but nobody sees it, you're free. What e-commerce taught me was a few foundational skills. One is that marketing and distribution are more important than the product. If you have a great product,
If you have gotten value out of this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.